tires are not going to move. And like I say, the ideal thing to do is just to get this kind of working down a little bit under that bead. Yeah, this ought to come off pretty easy. And with aluminum rims, you don't want to slam into it real hard like this, but you can slam down hard once you're up against that bead, just so you don't break the rim. Like I say, it is November, so they tend to be a little stiff in the middle of November. I'm going to seal both sides up. I got to get in there and clean that rim up a little bit. Use to clean that up is just a 1/2 inch copper fitting brush. It works pretty good. 1/2, 3/4, 1 inch, whatever you might have, they all work pretty good. And then I clean the tire a bit, and then clean that back part of that rim. I would have used maybe a little lube if I thought I needed to, but I'm going to be putting this sealer on it, so I didn't want to have to dry the tire and everything all off in order to put the sealer on. And these are Michelin tires too, so they're fairly new and they're still in good shape. So the rubber's still soft enough to do that with. And what I have here is just some 100% silicone. It works good for this stuff. It's seals them up good, plus it allows you to be able to still break it down later if you had to, where some of the other adhesive probably wouldn't, but silicone works pretty good. I've used it a lot over the years for this when I'm out of bead sealer, which is what I'm out of right now. I just try to put a thin bead all around the inside of that tire. And for me, the messy part is going to be smearing it all around with my finger. I say it won't hurt anything. Some people probably think that silicone's not a good idea, but actually silicone works pretty good. And it comes off easy if it has to. Okay, so that's good there. And if this don't do it, I might have to just replace the rim at some point in the future. But this usually takes care of it. I mean, this will fill all the little dimples and any bad spots that might be in there. I didn't have any black. This happens to be white. I usually use clear. I guess black would be better for the tires in case any squishes out. Like I say, this is our car here, so I'm not usually not that picky with my own vehicle for any of that type of stuff. Must be in my son's car. And I'll wipe it all off anyway once the tire blows up on the rim. But I'm just out of bead sealer and I haven't bought any because it went up about $10 more than what it used to be. It's like between $15 and $20 now for a little small can of it that used to be $4.99. Ever since COVID, it's just whacked all that stuff out of shape. So this, and I've had 2 cans of it, and they got tipped over and eventually leaked out and dried up, so I never got to use all of the stuff I had. See on this side. And it's just a thin bead that I'm putting down in there. I don't know if you can see it when I turn the tire, but I would prefer to use this than that Fix-A-Flat, to be honest with you, just as a Fix-A-Flat. I guess we've had issues with it over time when you go to break the tires down or something. I guess the tire guys like to know if it's had that Fix-A-Flat on it. Maybe it's flammable or something, I'm not sure, but of course, generally on the inside, if some of the silicone did squish out, you wouldn't have to worry too much because it'll never really be seen, except for maybe by a repair guy or something that crawls under it. Aluminum rims are bad when a car sits a lot too. This sits quite a bit. Like I say, it probably only gets 20 miles a month on it, if that. So steel rims hold up way better when they got to sit for any kind of lengths of time. Alright, and that should do it. So here. Usually, like I say, with this Milton style quick release coupler, they usually fit right on the valve stems without any special coupler tool. The tire never moves, so I don't have to balance it. And a lot of times by the time they pop on the rim, they are pretty close to where they need to be as far as pressure wise. Be 44 pounds with the tire pressure on it, and I am almost at 40. Inflator. Got a little cigarette compressor, cigarette lighter compressor that he'll put in there and pump it up when it goes flat, but you know, it's right at 45, so it's not good, you know, let tires get flat and sit flat, because they get, especially the radials, they get flat spots on them. See, I usually prefer to use the clear or the black silicone, but all I had was this white, and I didn't have any of the black bead sealer. But if you put too much, it'll squish all kinds of stuff out. But if you don't put enough, it's hard to spread it around the rim on the inside, or the tire on the inside. And if you put it on when the tire's off, and you put the tire on with it on, it just makes a mess. So I just use a rag and wipe the excess off, and if there is any left, it's just a matter of driving it a few times here and there, and if there's a couple of mud puddles you get into, we'll usually scrape off, wash off, whatever. But there we have it. Seal's all done, and I'm going to bolt that back on the car. Oh, I'm going to go get my spray bottle first. Just going to go get some more water and soap. Soapy water. That water's not going to bother that silicone, because the silicone's pressed down in there tight, and that water's not going to seep through. I don't see any bubbles, nothing around the valve stem, nothing coming from the core, and nothing around the rim. Yep, so that tire is good to go. That's it for that. So that should take care of that problem.